Welcome at 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Holt sitting in for Alex Maragos.
And I'm Marion Brooks. We're glad you're here. And now to a major development in the search for a man who gunned down UnitedHealth CEO Brian Thompson last week in Manhattan.
Huge manhunt for that suspect and a person of interest. New York's mayor and police officials now say there is a strong person of interest in custody in Pennsylvania this afternoon. NBC's Mark Santia has the story.
A 5-day nationwide manhunt coming to an end 300 miles from New York City. Police in Altoona, Pennsylvania, arresting 26-year-old Luigi Mangione in connection with the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police.
The McDonald's employee recognizing Mangione from one of these photos sent out by the NYPD after Wednesday morning's attack in Midtown Manhattan. Altoona police questioning Mangione, finding a trove of evidence, including a fake New Jersey ID and a gun police described as a ghost gun.
Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder.
Police say they also found a mask and clothes matching what the shooter was wearing on Wednesday, and police found a 3-page handwritten note that speaks to a possible motive.
Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Mangione is currently being held at the Altoona police station. Late this afternoon, NYPD officers and the FBI arriving to question him. Police crediting the public for the crucial tip that led to Mangione's arrest.
We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations.
That's Mark Santia reporting from our NBC station in New York. We have much more on this story, the details that have been coming out all day long. You can find the very latest right now on our website, NBCChicago.com, and on the NBC Chicago app.
And developing now here at 4 o'clock, the man accused of murdering a CEO on a Manhattan sidewalk is now being held without bail. Luigi Mangione appeared in court in Pennsylvania today. He was arrested there yesterday after a nationwide manhunt. He's now fighting extradition to New York. Mangione shouted to cameras as he was led into the courthouse. NBC's Mark Santia was in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and tells us what happened.
And it's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience.
Luigi Mangione not going quietly. The man charged with murdering UnitedHealthcare's CEO led into an Altoona courtroom this afternoon. The judge denying him bail. Mangione fighting extradition to New York, where he'll face murder charges for stalking and shooting Brian Thompson last Wednesday morning outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The 26-year-old disappeared for days after the attack, resurfacing yesterday morning at a McDonald's 300 miles away in Altoona, Pennsylvania. A tip from a customer and a McDonald's employee leading to Mangione's capture.
He said it, Craig, where's that shooter from New York or something like that? And I guess it was him. I mean, but I thought he was kidding, you know what I mean?
Police say Mangione had the gun and silencer he used in the attack and the fake New Jersey driver's license he used to check into an Upper West Side hostel where he was staying in New York. Police working to piece together how Mangione got to Altoona after he left New York and how long he had been there.
It's unbelievable, you know what I mean? I kept thinking about it all day yesterday. How can that be, you know? I mean, here we are, this little town, and I just, you know, you just don't know.
The high school valedictorian, an Ivy League grad, had a 3-page handwritten note criticizing the healthcare industry. His family in Maryland releasing a statement writing, quote, "They're shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest."
That was Mark Santia reporting. We've got much more on this case here on NBC5. Ahead at 5 o'clock, we'll take a look at why this case and the suspect in particular have gained such social media attention. And of course, you can get the latest updates anytime at NBCChicago.com or on the NBC Chicago app.
The suspect now charged with murdering the UnitedHealthcare CEO in New York City last week struggles with officers as he's escorted into court today, even shouting at reporters there for a moment. A Pennsylvania judge today denied bail for Luigi Mangione, who's fighting extradition to New York City. Mangione was captured in Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday when McDonald's workers grew suspicious and tipped off police. A complete rundown of today's developments coming up on the NBC Nightly News. That's at 5:30. Meanwhile, the response to the arrest of Mangione has been staggering. He has garnered sympathy and even online fandom. NBC5's Courtney Sisk spoke with professors who study behavior to unpack the response.
Social media tends to bring out the worst in everyone.
And it showed in the response to the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson and the arrest of Luigi Mangione online. Social media users are calling the murder suspect a hero, and some are trying to sell related merchandise. Others are flooding the Altoona McDonald's, where Mangione was caught, with bad reviews, saying there are rats working there. Yelp took it a step further and temporarily disabled reviews for the establishment after an influx of negative comments. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro spoke against the response overnight.
I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system. This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero.
I think it's one of the few industries that would garner this kind of attention.
Robert Vargas of the University of Chicago studies human behavior and interactions with institutions. He also wrote a book about the experiences of the uninsured in Chicago and knows healthcare strikes an emotional chord.
That message resonates particularly with people who have had experiences having their claims denied or having a loved one's claims denied, and them suffering tremendously as a result of it.
Medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy for American families. Vargas said it's something everyone likely experiences at some point in their life, and lack of reform could be what's drawing the brazen criticism.
I think that there's a troubling history in the U.S., but also an ongoing practice that's still going on today of violence being politicized.
But Governor Shapiro doubling down that no matter your viewpoint on an issue, crime won't be tolerated.
We do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences.
Courtney Sisk, NBC5 News.
Thanks.
Now let's turn to the latest on the suspect in the deadly UnitedHealthcare CEO shooting in Manhattan. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is now fighting extradition back to New York.
Today, Mangione was caught on camera yelling at the media outside of court in Pennsylvania. NBC5's Natalie Martinez joining us now with more on the story. Natalie?
Allison, Stefan, a lot going on again tonight. He's seen yelling about his frustration with corporate America, specifically medical care. Reporters inside the Pennsylvania courtroom saw a calm and relaxed Luigi Mangione, saying he smiled at least once after that loud outburst on the way into an extradition hearing. In front of the judge, his defense attorney said he told his client to be quiet. Wearing an orange prison jumpsuit and shackled at the hands and feet, murder suspect Luigi Mangione sent a fiery message outside a Pennsylvania courtroom Tuesday afternoon before being denied bail and sent back to state prison.
Completely out of touch.
Defense lawyer Tom Dickey said Mangione, who's accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan last week, told the judge he'll fight extradition to New York, anticipating a not guilty plea on the murder charge.
We haven't gotten any evidence, haven't seen really anything yet.
Investigators say hundreds of tips came in, but not one mentioned Mangione's name, a high-profile name in his hometown of Baltimore. Family-owned businesses include real estate, country clubs, and nursing homes. The arrest coming as a shock to his family and to many, including those at the prestigious high school where he was valedictorian, and the now 26-year-old was considered extremely smart.
Nothing came off weird about him. He had great friends. One of the last people you'd think would do something like this.
3 senior law enforcement officials confirmed that his handwritten notes criticized the healthcare industry in the U.S., specifically UnitedHealthcare, saying in part, frankly, these parasites had it coming. The Ivy League grad had medical issues, according to his former roommate for 6 months in Oahu.
It was something that impeded him from doing many things.
R.J. Martin runs Surf Break Cohabitation, where Mangione apparently aggravated a back issue during a surf lesson. Martin says Mangione sent him this X-ray text 9 months ago.
Harrowing. It just broke my heart to know he had these 3-inch screws in his spine.
2 senior law enforcement officials tell NBC News tonight they are investigating a picture of an X-ray posted to Mangione's social media account to help determine whether it's his back and part of a motive. His neighbor in Hawaii recalls a quick conversation he had with Mangione a few months ago.
For like 6 months, he was like on the mainland, like he just said medical stuff.
On Monday morning, 5 days after Thompson was killed in Manhattan, Mangione was discovered by a visitor and employee at an Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's. That's how it all started. And here's where we are. Extradition to New York is likely to be delayed for weeks. Manhattan's DA and New York's governor plan to submit a warrant for Mangione's extradition from Pennsylvania back to New York, where that crime was committed. Stefan?
Okay, thank you very much, Natalie Martinez with